But while Israel is trading attacks with Iran, it's also pushing on with its military operations in Gaza. In response to international pressure, Israel partially lifted its 11-week blockade of the Palestinian territory several weeks ago, but aid supplies remain limited, and accessing that aid has proven increasingly dangerous. After several deadly incidents at aid distribution sites, the UN says there has been another mass casualty event among Gazans waiting for food. Health officials in Gaza say more than 60 people were killed. Israel does not allow international journalists to freely report from Gaza, making it difficult to independently verify what's really happening there.
Chaos erupts as explosions are heard near an aid distribution point in Khan Yunis. Local witnesses say Israeli forces opened fire and fired tanks on people waiting for food. Hundreds of injured people were rushed to nearby hospitals.
This is not aid. This is an ambush. This is not aid. This is an ambush against the youth. Not to feed them, but to kill them. I complain to God about every oppressor and every Arab ruler who did not stand with us and did not stop the war. I ask God to take revenge on them.
Local health officials say that hospitals have been overwhelmed with patients suffering from shrapnel and gunshot wounds, which they say are difficult to treat due to a shortage of medical supplies.
Today, people have been killed and wounded by artillery shells and targeted with direct missiles. These shells that fell among the crowds and thousands of civilians caused a terrible massacre. So far, we have counted 59 martyrs, and there are dozens more who are still on the ground, and others who have been blasted to pieces because of shells that fell directly among civilians.
The Israeli military has acknowledged the incident and said it happened close to where its forces have been operating for days. It denied targeting civilians deliberately. Gaza's health ministry say killings of civilians trying to secure food have been an almost daily occurrence since the new aid system was introduced. UN agencies and major aid groups have criticized and rejected the new system, saying it can't meet the mounting needs of the population in Gaza, where they say starvation has become widespread.
Olga Cherevko is with the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, and she joins us tonight from Gaza City. Olga, welcome back to the day. Reports of another deadly incident at an aid distribution site, this time in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. What can you tell us?
Thanks so much for having me. These reports are absolutely horrific. Today, our health partners reported over 60 people being killed and almost 300 being injured. These casualties went to Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, which already all the hospitals that are accepting trauma patients and these mass casualty incidents are obviously putting a massive strain on the hospitals that are still struggling to operate. And so this is a very disturbing, seemingly becoming pattern that people are being killed and injured in their efforts to survive and not to starve to death.
Yeah, you're a humanitarian yourself. How do you feel seeing people seeking aid come under fire again and again?
It's absolutely horrifying. I spoke today to a woman who was telling me that the other day she did the same thing together with a friend of hers who is 9 months pregnant. And I was thinking to myself, how desperate must one be when they have no other choice but to literally risk their life on a daily basis just in order not to watch their children starve in front of their eyes. There is a limited volume of aid that is being allowed into Gaza. It is restricted both in volume and in the types of aid that can enter. And of course, we are further constrained in being able to deliver this aid. So basically, the bottom line is that it is less than a drop in the ocean, and it is not addressing the needs of the people. And the only way to address the needs of the people is by allowing an unrestricted flow of aid to enter Gaza over a sustained period of time so that we can safely deliver it to the people in need.
Israel partially eased its 11-week blockade of Gaza a couple of weeks back. But today, the World Health Organization pleaded for fuel to be allowed into Gaza. How does that shortage impact life in the Strip?
Everything runs on fuel in Gaza. We have obviously life-saving equipment that is being powered in the hospitals, and now this equipment is on the verge of shutting down. Of water and sanitation facilities. Already, we're saying we have virtually run out, but we have run out because right now we cannot provide enough water, for example, for people that is in line with internationally established sphere standards. They're called telecommunications. I mean, everything that powers life runs on fuel, and right now. We don't have access to the fuel that we have still inside Gaza, and more fuel isn't allowed to enter by the Israeli authorities.
Do you believe you and your fellow humanitarians will be allowed at any time soon to fully resume operations as you used to carry out before the blockade, before October 7th?
Well, we're certainly doing everything that we can to ensure that this is restored, because this is the only way to address the issues on the ground and really to talk about the meaningful lifting of the blockade. Because we're not talking about just giving people food or giving people water. We have to talk about restoring people's dignity. It has been stripped away from them, and the only thing that they are doing right now is just surviving, and even that is at risk on a daily basis.
That was Olga Cherevko of UNOCHA in Gaza City. Thank you so much.